I'm going to walk you through a 4-step process that I think puts business on easy mode. And so whether you're just getting started or you're already making tons of money and are just trying to make more, this process just works. And I've done it in tons of different portfolio companies and companies we've advised. And just to give you a little bit of context, as of last year, our portfolio at acquisition.com did over $250 million in aggregate revenue. And I say that not as a promise that if you do this, you're going to get that outcome, but that this works. All right. So that being said, let's dive in. Step number 1, get the ad. So we have to fundamentally show something to someone in order for them to find out about our stuff, right? Can we agree on that? If the answer to that is yes, then the first step here is that we're going to have some sort of advertisement. Now, that ad might be somebody reaching out. It's an advertisement, literally letting people know about stuff. It could be a paid ad. So it could be an interruption-based ad that happens, on any social media platform. It could be a piece of content like this that says, hey, go buy this thing. Now, between all the different ways of getting customers, paid ads versus content versus outreach versus maybe the exception being affiliates, paid ads is the most, the fastest to scale because one guy with buttons and good creative could scale it to the moon, right? And so it's all about skill when it comes to creating paid ads. Now, I'm going to just use this as our placeholder, but if you're trying to get into paid ads, then I'll give you 2 little frameworks that have worked really well for me. All right. So number 1, and this is a new one, which is absolutely murdering it for us, is what I'll call organic plus CTA. Very complicated. All right. So what is organic plus CTA? It's you have whatever organic content you make. Some content does better than others, provided you make organic content relevant to the stuff you sell, which, by the way, probably a good idea. You make your content and then you find the good ones. And then all you do is you add a call to action at the end that sends people to your thing. And we already know it works because we've already tried it. And so you get to have all these test shots on goal that cost you nothing by simply making the content. And then you just let the algorithm tell you what people already like and they engage with and they share and they click, they get past the hook. And then you just say, oh, I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to turn it into something that feeds my business in a more scalable way because I'm not going to rely on the platform to just give it to people for free, which is great. But I also can't really add a longer call to action because it would tank the effectiveness of the clip. But if I put it at the beginning and then I pay the platform, then they're happy to display it because they were already happy to display it for free. So why wouldn't they want to display it in exchange for money? And then we can add our very simple call to action at the end for some sort of thing, which I'll get to in a second. Now, the second kind of way of thinking about this, this one's by far the easiest. If you can do this, do it. Now, if you're like, okay, I don't have enough organic or, I just need to, quickly make ads directly, then this is the framework that I would use. So I have hook plus meat plus CTA. All right. So I'm going to break down each of these really quickly. So from a hooks perspective, what I do is I still look at the best performing organic and the best performing ads across all industries. So this is one where you don't need to stick to your industry. You might find a hook that works exceptionally well in finance and it works really well for hotels too, right? Provided it doesn't actually say finance in it. And so you'll see that hooks just convert across way different audiences because it just draws attention. And so the first thing I'll look at is hooks. And this is by far the 80% of the ad. And you're like, wait, but they're so short and they're still the most important. So we should just be thankful. It's crazy. It's like people have a hard time accepting that something short could be more meaningful than something long because it takes more work. Would you prefer that the thing that means the most is actually really hard and long to do? No, right? The fact that hooks are short is a gift from God for advertisers that we can actually have the most important thing, not require a ton of work. Now, if you want to be smart about it, it should require work because you're going to do that work in the research or the pre-search before you record this. So for here, I would have at least 50 plus hooks. Now you're like, 50 plus hooks? Yeah, you're probably not making nearly enough ads. And I don't care what your spend is.